Greetings, family. Welcome to the channel. This is Choices, Tarot and Dreams. And this is the first video on this channel, man. It's a video, it's a week ahead reading specifically for the summer solstice of 2026. I wanted to do the video at the beginning of the week, actually, week commencing on Monday, but I never got around to it, man. I missed that opportunity. But what I've decided to do instead is to give you a week-long reading. So it's a 7-day reading, week ahead reading, starting on Thursday, the 18th. I think it's the 18th. Thursday, the 18th of June, 2026, through the solstice on Sunday, 21st, going through to Wednesday, the 24th of June. All right, so this is Thursday through to Wednesday, and it's covering the winter solstice with 3 days either side of the solstice. All right, and it's specifically just for the solstice. It's really just an opportunity for me to just start off the channel doing readings, and it's really just an opportunity. It's really just to give you an insight into how I read the cards. I tend to sort of go into detail, and it can be kind of long-winded, but if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, great. You know, and this is just a general reading. It's not specific to any particular individual. It's not specific to any of the star signs. It's just a very, very general reading. So if you come across this video and it resonates with you, listen, I want you to put that down in the comments. Also, you know, give me feedback later on as well, if you can, if you don't mind. You know, next week or the week after, if you look back on this week and any of this resonated with you, then please put that down in the comments. That would be really interesting for me to, you know, hear that. But tell us whatever we need to know for the week ahead, summer solstice 2026. Yes, I'll line this again. So this is going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday solstice, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Interesting. Okay. And let me just line these up. Okay, so never want death. Okay, so what's that? I'm just going to pick out another card here for the major arcana. It's 15, 13. What's that? 28, 10. Is that Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of Fortune. Should we do the one as well? Ah. Interesting. All right. So here you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the overall energy for the week, and additional cards for a deeper interpretation. Wheel of Fortune, interesting. Since we're at the peak, so we're talking about the solstice, man. Summer solstice. So this is like the peak of the cycle of the sun. This is the peak, and after the peak, you know, we're going to move into the descent. And symbolically, what that represents is phenomenal, especially since you've got death here as well as the devil. But listen, let's start with the Queen, man. The embodiment of material abundance. But, you know, it represents harmony, it represents balance, it represents in flow with the energy of the universe. You're in flow with yourself. It represents harmony with your ideas and your, you know, the alignment of your goals with your physical. right? So you've built a life of material abundance and wealth. Maybe you're not loaded, but you have a sense of security and safety about your life. It's that creative energy, that nurturing, mothering energy. And you're looking upon your achievements, man. You've achieved a good deal, right? And you're comfortable. You're happy in your achievements, or maybe it's something that you aspire to do. In a literal sense, it could be, maybe this is something that you're working towards within yourself, these are nurturing qualities that you have within you, or maybe it's somebody externally, somebody physically in your life or is either going to come into your life. Somebody who has these qualities. Something that comes to mind here with this particular card is the idea of charity begins at home, right? That expression. And what it means is that, look, if you want to be in a position where you're able to help other people, if you want to sort of, be that expression of compassionate, that ability to be compassionate, well, then you have to put yourself in a position to be that way. If you want to give money to charity, well, then you have to have money in order to give money away, right? If you want to be able to sort of impart wisdom to another person who needs it, if you want to be a source of support to another person who needs it, well, then you need to be that. You need to be the embodiment of that support. You need to be in a position where you're able to give that level of advice and wisdom to another person. If you don't have that, well, then what can you give? If you want to give somebody 10, if you have the desire to give somebody 10 quid, but you don't have 10 quid, what can you give? You can't give anything. You know what I mean? So it's charity begins at home. So it seems to me that whoever this is going to resonate with, that you've built that life for yourself. You have that level of material abundance and wealth within you that you're able to sort of be compassionate to another person, right? Because it's got that nurturing energy about her, man. That nurturing creative energy. Right? Whether it's something that you have already or whether it's something that you're working towards. The other part of this also is an idea of attachment. And this is certainly true with the Four of Pentacles here. Whatever it is that you've built in this life, it's important to remain detached from all of that. Something else that's important here is the idea of change. We live in a world of constant change. Right, this is the nature of our existence here at this level of consciousness. It's change, and look, the Wheel of Fortune is just reinforcing that as well. Everything is in constant change. So the point here is that you can't rely on anything here. If you have, you could sit back and bask in your success. And that's okay, man. But always remember that anything can change. Anything can change. Just like that. You can create wealth, you can also lose it. But whatever the case may be, whatever the situation is, don't have that attachment. If you don't have that attachment, what you've done is you've freed yourself up. You've made yourself adaptable to change. That, look, all right, I've made a loss here. I've created all this stuff and it's been great, but now I've had a loss, and you instead of crying about it, you just go with it. You go with the flow. You adapt, you change, all right? Something that's also necessary here is the idea of emotional intelligence, that it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what happens or what comes up in life, that you have the resilience, you have that emotional intelligence not to react negatively in any situation, positive or negative. You see, because the idea of karma is here as well, the karmic cycles. All right, that's important to understand now. Let me just bring in the Eight of Wands here, because the Eight of Wands, it signifies momentum. There's a momentum shift here, right? The things are aligned for you. In one sense, it could be a physical trip that you're taking, right? Physical momentum in the sense that you're moving physically. So maybe you're going on a trip Maybe you're going a short distance, maybe you're going a longer distance. The other part of it is that, you know, you have your goals and aspirations to build whatever it is that you're building, and the universe is aligned. You know, there's a momentum shift, that things are moving now for you, that, you know, the stars are aligned for you, and there's a shift in momentum. So are you going to grab a hold of those opportunities now? Just move in that direction. Just catch the wave like you're surfing on the wave. You know, you're waiting for that. You're waiting for that wave to come along. As soon as that wave comes, you're watching it, and then you just step on it and you move forward in that direction. The universe is moving you forward in that direction. All right. Seven of Wands is a warning. It's about being prepared. So whatever it is that you've built, whatever it is that you're working towards, somebody there, or there is a group of people there who want to challenge you. Maybe it's an individual. Maybe you're challenging yourself. Maybe there's an obstacle there for yourself, because that's certainly the case with the Four of Pentacles. It's certainly the case with the Devil too. But whatever it is, you know, you've built your position, and then there's a challenge there. You know, if you've built a life for yourself, you've created a level of success, or maybe you've got that promotion at work, but, you know, somebody else is there who's got their eye on your spot. You have to contend with that. Maybe there has been dissent there for a while, bubbling beneath the surface, and you didn't really have any idea. Or maybe you did have an inkling that okay, this person might be antagonistic towards me, but then it's going to become apparent to you. Thursday, Friday. The idea with that is for you to set your boundaries, all right? Don't let anybody... It's important to set your boundaries. Maybe you're working on a project and you're working within a group of people. Just be mindful of those ones who are antagonistic towards you. Set your boundaries. You might need to be decisive and just get rid of a bunch of people too. But then, you know, Saturday is the Three of Pentacles, man. Shows collaboration. It shows working in harmony with the people around you to get the job done, whatever it is that you're building. Maybe it's something physically. Maybe you've got a job to do. Maybe it's a career. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a building, a business. Maybe it's something internally. You're working internally on yourself, you know, but it's also collaboration. If you need advice, you know, don't seek advice where you need to seek advice, or where you need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, you know, and it's a collaborative effort. I get the sense that, you know, have you ever worked in a team and everybody's just having a laugh and a joke, but everybody's getting the job done and everybody's moving around, and there's a lot of, you know, it seems kind of chaotic, but everybody's working and everybody's, you know, chipping in and everybody's pulling their weight, and it's just harmony, and it's just a beautiful vibe, man. And then at the end of the day, you get the job done. You go home just smelling to high heaven at the end of the day, man, because it's been one of those beautiful days where everybody has just been working in harmony together. That's what that is. That's Saturday. By the way, these may not apply to each, it may not be specific to each day. Maybe it's just an overall sort of a reading. But then the idea of momentum here is echoed here with the Eight of Wands, that once you've overcome the challenges here, then you were able to move forward. Maybe you get rid of those antagonistic people in your team, and then you have the right people around you to get the job done, and then you move forward in that direction. You pick up momentum, you pick up the pace, put your foot on the gas. All right, that's the message there. Solstice, Sunday to Solstice is the Page of Cups. Whatever it is, you know, just have that childlike curiosity about whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever comes up for you, positive or negative, it doesn't matter. Just go with the flow, all right? There's a level of emotion, that coming back to the idea of emotional intelligence. Have that emotional intelligence about you as well. That, look, whatever comes up, positive or negative, don't get carried away with your emotions and just react unnecessarily. You don't need to do that, all right? But just have that childlike curiosity. If an obstacle comes up for you, just go with it. All right, this has come up. Let me just deal with this now. It's a challenge. Don't put your head in your hands and then start crying and then indulging in self-pity. You don't want to do any of that. You know, but just have that childlike curiosity about whatever it is that comes up, and just explore your environment, man. If you're out and about, if it is that you're traveling and it's solstice on the Sunday, if you're traveling with a group of people, you know what I mean? Maybe this is to do with travel. Maybe, you know, there's a group of you who are going somewhere together, and you know, everybody has their own tasks sort of delegated to them. Like you're gonna book a hotel, and you're gonna book transport, and you're gonna book tickets, and I'm gonna do this, and then let's all come together, and it just works out beautifully, and then you just have an absolutely beautiful day on the solstice, and then you just, you know, when you're just sort of walking around, and you just like you're walking on air. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be one of those days, man. But yeah, solstice looks like a beautiful day too, man. Monday, the devil, very interesting. Very, very interesting that you have the solstice on a Sunday, right? But then you have the devil on a Monday, the moon day, right? Isn't that interesting? So the devil for me represents another channel. This could be, I mean, not a channel, it represents a warning, like the Seven of Wands. But this could be something internally, or it could be something externally, maybe both. But it represents, you know, to me, it's just a warning for you to just be mindful of any of the negative tendencies that you may have within you. So look, whatever it is that you're building, right? You're successful in what it is that you've built so far, and what it is that you're working towards. There's success there, and it's beautiful. Don't sort of get ahead of yourself. I think the warning here is to just be mindful, just watch. Make sure that just be watchful of any negative tendencies that come up. Are you indulging in anything unnecessarily? Maybe you've achieved the level of success, and then you want to just sit back and you just want to indulge. Just be mindful of that, not to overdo it. But the idea here also, if there's any other people around you who are antagonistic towards you, just be mindful of that. But also, don't you be antagonistic towards anybody unnecessarily. Don't be manipulative. Don't be deceptive, right? Certainly don't be abusive. Listen, karma. This shit is going to come back and bite you in your ass, man. I'm telling you. This is real. And that's just universal law. That's just the fundamental basics of life. None of us can escape that. I mean, to escape that is to achieve a higher level of consciousness, right? And very few people are prepared to do that. But we are in this cycle, and we can't escape. None of us escapes that. Nobody. I don't care who you are. So, you know, abusive people, it's just the nature of the world that we live in. Just be mindful of that. And if you've grown up and you've never come across abusive people before, if you've never had that experience, man, I don't know, man. Just be mindful that there are people out there that really want to destroy your life, man. And we all have sort of negative tendencies within us. It's natural. The idea here is just to be mindful of that. And if you see people around you who just give off red flags, just be watchful. Very watchful. All right? So there's another warning there. That echoes the Seven of Wands to me. But also, you know, the devil is also something that is necessary for our ascension. So again, have that childlike curiosity. Don't react to your emotions unnecessarily. Don't just react. Have that level of emotional intelligence about you. All right? Monday, that's very interesting, because that's also symbolic of the descent of divine consciousness. And if you understand anything about the solstice, you know how significant that card is. All right? Very interesting. Tuesday, Four of Pentacles. So going back to this idea, and again, with the devil, right? Negative tendencies, attachment. Look, if you're coming at this from sort of a fear mentality, right? You're setting yourself up for a world of hurt, man. So the idea here is to let go. If you have that attachment, that negative attachment, and you're coming at it from a place of fear that you're going to lose something, maybe maybe a loss is there. Maybe you need to take a loss. Maybe that's a deeper lesson that the universe is going to send to you, right? The idea is to be adaptable. All right, if there's going to be a loss, then I can't. You do what you can to prevent that from happening, but don't come at it from a place of fear. All right? Remember that the idea of that everything is in a constant state of change. Right? Things change. It is the nature of the world that we live in. And if things are constantly changing, well, then it is foolish for anybody to just become attached to any of this stuff, because when the wheel turns, man, when things change, that's the one that's going to be suffering the most, because you can't, that's a corruption of the mind, and so that's why I said with the Queen of Pentacles, listen, whatever it is that you've built, great. Do what you can to protect yourself, but at the same time, if there's a loss that's going to happen, it's going to happen, and you can't change it. You have to go with it. The idea of the momentum here as well with the Eight of Wands. Have that childlike curiosity to just have that ability. It's kind of like, just be that happy-go-lucky type of dude. Wouldn't it be great to just Forrest Gump your way through life, man? It'd be wicked, man, to just be like Forrest Gump. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Be mindful. And let go. So maybe the implication there is that there's going to be a loss occurring somewhere. Or maybe there's a change coming somewhere here. And, your attachments are going to just come up to the surface, and it's going to be traumatic for you. Symbolically also with the summer solstice, the days are going to get shorter and shorter when we begin our descent into winter. I personally hate winter. I cannot emphasize that enough. I just can't stand it. I understand the necessity for it. It's just part of the world of duality that we're in, Winter has its own beauty, but if I had a preference, give me a summer day, man. 24 degrees, 25 degrees, blue skies with fluffy clouds here and there, and a slight breeze, man. If every day was like that, that'd be heaven for me, man. That'd be absolutely beautiful. But of course, it can't be that way, We're going to finish off the week on a Wednesday with the Death card. All right, beautiful. So it represents transformation. It represents change. It represents whatever it is that you're going through. All right. And the idea also with the summer solstice as well is that change, that you've gone from a period of ascent, that you've gone now into a period of descent, that you're heading down into the darkness of winter. Right. Symbolically, what that represents is just phenomenal. We can write volumes on that. The death represents change. And, part of this also is that, whatever change is coming, you can't change that. So the nature of the world is constant change. You can't change that. The idea for you, the necessity for us is just to adapt to all of this. The quality of the Page of Cups is essential here. Emotional intelligence is essential here. But watch out for the challenges. Let go of any attachments. Continue to work towards whatever it is that you're working towards. Boundaries are especially important. The momentum is in your favor, right? Embrace your mortality, man. Just embrace your mortality. That's the only way that you're ever going to get rid of attachment, really. Embrace your mortality. And understand that, you need to be able to sort of close certain doors in order to open others. You see what I'm saying? So Wheel of Fortune represents that a change is coming. Maybe that's just generally speaking that we're moving from one season to another season. So from spring to summer, but then from summer to, we're at that change, we're at that flip over time. But the Wheel of Fortune also represents karma. Be mindful of what it is that you're doing. Don't just react negatively to any situation. Have that level of emotional intelligence within you. Keep that balance. Be creative. All right? Don't just react. But also, the magician here is letting you know that you have all the resources you need to build whatever it is that you want to build. You have that ability there. I think the bigger message here, you know, there's something also about Sunday and the summer solstice, 21st. There's something big here, man. Maybe not to you individually. Listen, I'm just going to put this out there. I feel like there's something big that's coming for the world in general. All right? There's something big that's happening. Maybe there's something big that happens on Sunday the 21st, or maybe there's something big that happens for the week following, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe for this week, there's something big. There's a big change that's coming. Like a massive, big change. Did I emphasize that enough? I'm going to say it again. Big. And I mean big. Maybe it's a financial collapse or something. Or maybe it's an event that happens that then triggers financial chaos. And I think we're expecting a downturn in the markets anyway, right? It's long overdue. And even when it comes to the natural cycles of how the markets move, we're due for a correction, a big one, right? But I feel like this, whatever this is, whether it's collectively or individually that we're working towards, this is for the next 6 months to me. It's not just a week. For a weekly reading, yes. On a bigger level, it's because we're at the peak and we're going to move towards the trough now, that the days are going to get shorter and shorter, that, you know, something big is coming. Either summer solstice, or, you know, the week after the solstice, or it's going to be something that drags out over the next 6 months. I'm going to do another reading for the equinox as a review, as a follow-up. I'm also going to do another reading for the winter solstice too. And I'm also going to be doing monthly readings for each of the star signs too. Listen, that's the weekly reading for summer solstice 2026. If you like that, just support the channel. If you find any value in any of this, just support the channel in any way that you can, any way that you would like to. Otherwise, just subscribe to the channel. Also, can you give me some feedback as well? I would love some feedback. If any of this resonates with you, if at the end of the week, at the end of the next week, and you remember this reading and you think back and you think, wow, this really resonates for me, you know, just put your experiences down in the comments, man. I would love to hear some of that, you know. Otherwise, listen, I wish you all the very best. All right. Love, light, peace, happiness, health, and higher consciousness, man. Listen, have a great summer solstice. And anybody going to Glastonbury as well, shout out to anybody going to Glastonbury, or whatever it is that you're doing. Just put that in the comments too if you're traveling. All right. Otherwise, listen, have a great one. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.